Tomodachi Life is a widely successful 3DS game, which was released in 2013 or 2014, depending on where you live. The simple to understand idea of the game allows almost anyone to enjoy it. Every Mii has their own appearance, voice, and personality, which gives the player customization options that makes every experience unique. Before the Switch, Nintendo used to make different versions of their games for different regions. In some cases, assets from the games were altered to bring more familiarity for a specific audience. These changes are known as regional differences, and Tomodachi Life is full of them. Hi, my name is Goose, and together with my worst nightmare, we'll be going over the most interesting regional differences in Tomodachi Life, which turns out to be a lot of them.
Even before you start the game, there are differences with the name and logo. The Japanese and Korean logos are practically the same apart from the actual text. The names are completely different though, with the Japanese translating to Tomodachi Collection, New Life, and the Korean translating to Friend Gathering Apartment. The European logo is faithful to the Japanese one, apart from the text being red. The American logo, however, is completely different from the rest, and is a lot more vibrant compared to its European, Japanese, and Korean counterparts.
There are many things exclusive to each version, at least enough for it to be its own sections. So let's dive into the Japanese exclusives first. You can transfer islanders from Tomodachi Collection if they have save data for it. This is because Tomodachi Life is a sequel to Tomodachi Collection, which is a Japan-exclusive game on the original DS. When you name your island, you are given a prompt that asks how you want island to be pronounced. This is removed in other versions that have only one way of saying island, with the game instead skipping to the next text telling you what a great name it is. Moving on to the Look Like Me. At the start of the game, they request a friend to join the island, and then ask for food. In all other regions, the requests are weirdly swapped. Additionally, when creating a Mii, you choose the last name and then the first name because you are typically known by your last name in Japan. You also get to choose your blood type, which is randomly missing in all other versions of the game. When choosing a Mii's personality, the colors go from green to orange. In all other versions, the colors are a kind of gradient of orange. When a Mii receives their personality, they just stand there, menacingly. It is possible for a single Mii to confess to a married Mii, and for them to accept. Additionally, in quickie questions, the two Miis closest to the camera will be slightly turned to be facing the player, which is kind of creepy. The personality values affect different things. For example, mindset, boldness, and confidence are all unique to this version. There are also many foods exclusive to Japan, including konbini bento, oden, and onigiri.
Moving on to the Korea exclusives. A Mii may request to go on a blind date with any Mii of the opposite gender that they're not already friends with. If the date is successful, they will automatically become a couple. In Mii homes, the father uses a different mask to scare the baby. For the food mart, the shopkeeper is wearing a yellow race car/motorcycle helmet. Additionally, a picture with the name Tobakaido on the cafe window was changed to Nimco. From January 31st until February 2nd, the traditional Korean Lunar New Year music plays, replacing the main theme over the island. There's also exclusive food for this version, including soy crab and iced cafe latte.
Since these two versions are very similar, they are going to be discussed together, starting with the translation differences. There are many small changes that don't really affect anything, but are still interesting, like the Mii info screen. The European version labels stomach, special someone, loves/really loves, likes, and dislikes/really dislikes. The American version changes these to fullness, sweetheart, all-time favorite/all-time favorite, favorite foods, and worst/worst ever. Other lines are altered as well for when Miis have a baby, when the child grows up, and some of the different scenarios for proposals. Feel free to pause if you want to read any of them. This is also available on the fandom wiki along with most of the information in this video if you want to check that out in the description below. The other big difference between these two versions is the food.
Hi, this is your worst nightmare. If you don't want to listen to this idiot ramble about food for a minute straight, skip to this timestamp.
Starting with the main foods exclusive to the American version, we have buffalo wings, chicken pot pie, filet mignon, fish sticks, lobster, loco moco, and nachos. For the side foods, there are baked beans, baked potato, chicken noodle soup, clam chowder, fried tofu, grilled cheese, grits, habanero, macaroni and cheese, onion rings, PB&J, popcorn shrimp, split pea soup, string cheese, stuffing, tomato soup, and veggie burger. On to desserts, we have banana split, brownie, candy corn, carrot cake, cherry pie, cinnamon roll, elephant ear, fancy cupcake, frozen treat, granola parfait, hard candy, key lime pie, oatmeal cookie, red velvet cake, s'more, and saltine crackers. Lastly, we have beverages with eggnog, milkshake, root beer float, sports drink, and yerba mate. And that was only the American version. The European version's main foods are bacalao, beef bourguignon, borscht, chicken tikka masala, chili con carne, couscous, English breakfast, fish and chips, fried seafood, cake fillets,
melanzane parmigiana,
pork pie, ratatouille, roast duck, roast lamb, roll mop herrings, and
saltimbocca.
Moving on to the side foods, we have beans on toast, Cornish pastry,
gazpacho,
hummus, Iberian ham, minestrone, sauerkraut, and spinach. There are a lot of desserts to cover, so I'm going to speedrun through them. Bread with chocolate spread,
bundt cake,
cannoli,
cherimoya,
Christmas pudding, creme brulee, custard pastry, dates, marron, marzipan fruit, mince pie, mince sweet,
natillas,
pain au chocolat, pandora,
panettone,
panna cotta, pistachios, profiteroles, rice pudding, Turon walnuts, and Yule log. Finally, the only beverage exclusive to Europe is sparkling water.
In all game versions, the gestures made by the Mii are designed to match the region. For example, in the Japanese and Korean versions of the game, when making friends they do a bow, which is fitting to Japanese etiquette, while in the European and American versions it's replaced with a friendly wave. Additionally, in Tomodachi Collection, Miis do not sleep with a blue mattress, but rather directly on the floor. Another difference is that in the Japanese version, when a Mii is upset or sick, instead of the iconic rain cloud, there are purple embers surrounding the Mii. Lastly, when inviting you to play a game, in the Japanese variant, the gesture is a Mii waving their arm towards themselves, signaling for you to come closer, and everywhere else the gesture is a Mii jumping up and down excitedly.
As well as differences in Mii behaviours between regions, there are many examples of differences between sounds. For instance, music from the cafe has Mii singing in Japanese. In other regions, they just remove this altogether. Each language has a respective accent that the Miis use, apart from the European and Australian versions, which, if set to English, both use a British accent. This is mainly a change so that the voices and accents match the respective countries.
Dreams and news have many regional variants, some for religious reasons, others for seemingly no reason at all. A dream exclusive to the Japanese version is called Familiar. In this dream, the old Tomodachi Collection Island is shown with the original background music. Because this game was never released outside of Japan, it's absent in all other versions. In the Korean version of the Ritual Dream, the Miis will be circling around another Mii instead of a bowl of food, but this was changed in all other versions of the game due to religious reasons. Additionally, in Japanese versions, the Mii say "All hail random food item," but in the European version they say "My random food item." In the Japanese version of the game, in the Factory Tour Dream, you can paint your Miis white, black, blue, green, or purple, although the black and white colors were removed in other versions due to potential references to race. One of the news reports in the Japanese and Korean versions of the game is called Mr./Mrs. Mii Who Was Fat. This was removed in Western versions of the game due to the controversial subject. Also, similar to when they make friends, in the Japanese and Korean versions, the Miis bow at the end of their news reports, but in Western versions of the game, they smile and lift their script slightly. Lastly, the quality of life announcement does not appear in the Japanese version, as it's already available from the start of the game.
The regional differences between events don't seem to be consistent and random in most cases, like in the Japanese and Korean version of Tomodachi Life. Donations are collected in a white wooden box, while in all other versions it's collected in a transparent piggy bank. In the American version, if you happen to be playing on the day of the Super Bowl, the workers at each store will be wearing an American football jersey, and the store will be decorated in American football posters. A similar thing happens at Christmas in all versions, and on Australia Day if your 3DS is set to the country on the European version.
Most of the environmental changes affect interiors and news reports, but there are some outliers like the poster in the cafe window that we touched on before, and the text on the beanie. The text is different in every region, being Tobakaido in Japan, Ninko in Korea, but America and Europe have both changed it to Redford. Many of the interiors are slightly altered or removed, like the classroom interior in the Japanese version. In the American and European versions, the interior is changed to be more reminiscent of a stereotypical American classroom. The 50s Japanese interior is completely removed in the American version. Additionally, all shopkeepers differ between regions. In Europe, they are seen wearing a robot head. In America, it's a wooden box. In Japan, it's a Kuroko mask, which kind of looks like a black pillowcase, and in Korea, it's a yellow motorcycle helmet.
Well, that about covers it. Thanks for watching till the end of the video, and thanks to My Worst Nightmare for helping me with some parts of the script, and obviously narrating. I'm trying different styles of content than my usual one, so if you like this, let me know by, well, liking the video, or potentially even subscribing. Alright, see you guys.